Ken, if you go, take us back to sort of when youngsters join academy. So under 8s or under 9s, I know there's the pre-development stuff as well. How much do you think parents know about the journey ahead? Like what do you think they're expecting when they are signing up or thinking about signing up when they're first scouted?
Well, I could flip that to you and then say, well, how do you see it? What do you expect? When Miles is coming through at 8, 9, like you say, the pre-academy is sort of 7, 8-year-olds, and then they actually officially join as an under 9 into the academy system. All I would say is that I've got my own opinions on whether children should be going in at that such a young age, which is, again, I'm in it and I see the values of it, but I also see the trade-offs. So it's getting that right balance. I think as much information you can give to parents about what the journey looks like, and again, it should be a shared knowledge. It's not a case of it's open, open doors and you can just access everything at whatever time you want. I think the biggest challenge especially for the intake of under 9s is obviously at grassroots. It's very different to where they're allowed to go and the restrictions and the conditions that are put on them, how they can adhere to that within the academy setups, because it is different.
I love that. Yeah, I went up with my under 9 to West Ham recently to play some of your academy.
God.
No, it's really lovely because we go, big grassroots contingent,
Wild West.
And then, they come out and they do this thing where they're like, right, you're not allowed to say a word. We don't want any coach. And all the parents are like, what? We can't say anything. And they'd come over every now and again and say, we told you, no, we don't want to hear coaching. Very, very different experience for parents, in grassroots who are, so involved on the sidelines.
Yeah.
And why is that? Why is that important for parents, do you think? Coming into an environment like that, not to be, down the sidelines or...
Because so much thought is put into, even at that age, about, playing different positions and asking them to do different things. At that such a young age, it's all about sort of ball manipulation, just getting used to having a football, and forget about really decision making. Is, can they receive the ball on both feet, and can they dribble with it? Which ones are good at dribbling? Which ones want to look to pass? Do they identify where space is? Like, just real general, real basic stuff, which is brilliant. Where the parent, again, is only looking at their son and sort of going, well, he doesn't play, he's a striker. Why is he playing out wide? And why is he in a different position? And why is he not even starting? Why is it? There's so many different things. The two main sort of gripes that parents always come with is game time, and whether the boy is playing up or down. Because for some reason they see a boy playing in an older age group as massive success, and they see a boy playing in a younger age group as, well, they don't like him, he might as well just come away.
A lot of parents who are going through grassroots, there's on every green bit of land in the whole of England and maybe beyond in the world, on any given Sunday, there's, parents there on the sidelines supporting kids. You've played at so many, you've been involved in football and you've played at so many different divisions. And what would you advise parents who've got sort of 14, 15-year-olds, they're in grassroots, they're playing at a good level, and to kind of keep that love of the game, keep involved in football? Like, have you got any, because sometimes, if they haven't made it, at that age, it's such a shame if they drop out, because I always just think it's such a fantastic sport to be a part of as a,
No, it's again, really good question. I get that asked that quite a bit, is when does it, have I missed the opportunity? And I said earlier, being in an academy isn't the be all and end all. It really isn't. There's no guarantee that if you're in an academy, you're going to make a footballer. And likewise, if you're not in one, that's it. You might as well go and find another career. All I would say is that if you, whatever level you're at, if you're playing at any level, at a decent level yourself, you won't get missed. someone will always be able to see you. Now, that might be a school teacher, it might be just someone over the park who knows someone at academy, who knows someone at a club, who picks up the phone and goes, look, I was over walking my dog, I watched a game, oh my God, I found out there's a boy, you need to come and see him. That says, simple as it is. And all I'd say is don't ever give that up, because there is no time thing on it. Obviously, if you're getting into your mid-20s and you're not there, then you've got to, let's be realistic. Anything up to 19, 20, because realistically, if you're playing then, you're playing in men's football. I think what we find is that, and we've had some success with it, and when we did do at my previous club as well, is players that were sort of around 16, 17 that weren't scholars, so they weren't in the program, but they were playing non-league, but playing in men's football every week. So every Saturday they're playing against men. Then when they came, and then they'd get noticed coming to us, and they haven't been, I don't like to say, but sort of they haven't gone soft because of the academy and what it does and everything's done for them. They've just got out and they've just gone and playing on, the pitches aren't great.
Yeah, potholes.
Potholes, we've all been there. Yeah, it's horrible. The referees are terrible, everything, but they go out there and they playing. Now, someone will see something in that player, and then for them to get the opportunity to come in, which has happened, is that they come in and they've just got this freshness about them. Nothing phases them, where they just come in and if they've got a slight knock or a little injury, no, they're training. Where actually some of the boys are, well, I'm going to rest today because I'm going to see how I feel tomorrow. It's that mentality again of, no, I'm just playing my football and where it takes me. And I think that you'll never get missed if you're showing them traits again of just being a good team player. Obviously, you're going to have individual ability, but being someone who you feel could come into your environment and add to it, they're invaluable, and they could come up from anywhere. But there's not a game that goes on to up and down the country that there's a good player that's never going to get found. They'll get found one way or the other. They'll get found.
Let's say a youngster, boy, girl's got all these sort of, characteristics and desire and hunger and all those things that you've mentioned. Can they still get through this journey if the parent is a little bit challenging for the club? Is there, we've had situations on, talking to parents on our podcast that, a particular dad was kind of apologetic that he'd been a bit of a nightmare, and seemingly that could have impacted his son's opportunities. Is that a thing? Does that happen?
Massively. Yeah, massively. Unfortunately, it's not common, but it does happen. And you do see an actual change in parents the longer they're in your system. You do see a change, or you see a change when may have been released from a club, and suddenly they think, oh, hang on a minute, and then they go into another club and they sort of do take a step back and they sort of go, well, okay, look, it has a word, get on with it now. And and kids are resilient. They'll get on with it. But yeah, unfortunately, you do. If what we try and see, or what you don't want to see, should I say, is the parent wanting it more than the boy. And if that's the case, then you'd have real concerns.